Okay, so this is the NES Empire Strikes Back. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. This was done by Sculptured Software for JVC. It's pretty good. There's some cool like sound things, sampled audio. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty quick. It's a pretty good speed game. I'm actually going to take a fairly new route through level 1. We have to come down here and get the lightsaber. Let's see. And then we're going to see something fascinating about the Star Wars world that you may not have seen before. Turns out Tauntauns can fly, which is interesting, something you may not have seen in the movie. So actually the way this level is programmed, basically the winning condition is to get to a certain X position to the far right, but it turns out that you're not supposed to be able to jump out of the air like this, which is a one frame. You have to hit A the frame after you hit select. And if you hit it twice, you can make it up to the top of the ledge and walk off the left side of the level and just end the level. Oh, I hit it twice, but I was too low. There it goes. And end level. So I also did the TAS of this game, and the TAS doesn't have that strat in it yet. So I'll need to update the TAS. This level is actually one of the longer levels. You have to take down the AT-ATs. There's actually 3 ways. This thing has a blaster, but it's pretty useless. Actually gonna take a bunch of damage here because I need to crash the ship. Crash right next to this guy. There we go. So as long as you have the lightsaber, you can jump and hold up, and he'll do this scripted animation thing where he goes and kills it, which is much faster than using your blaster would be. There's kind of some RNG to this part. The stormtroopers that run around and shoot you are kind of random, and you can kind of lose runs here based on how much you get shot. You can actually take a ton of damage, but I can play it a little bit marathon safe if I need to. There'll be some other cool sequence breaking things. The TAS actually does some other sequence breaking that I can't really do in real time. Yeah, the hopping is real. Now these guys have a drop, and it actually gives you some health, but once I get at least 5 of them, another ship should show up. There's my ride. The third way, I'm not sure if I mentioned the tow cable. I can take down some of these guys, but there are 10 AT-ATs and you only have 5 tow cables a level. Then I'm gonna crash in front of the last one. This is actually pretty decent for a Star Wars game. It seems like a lot of Star Wars games out there, a lot of the force powers and stuff are not very useful or very unwieldy, and this one, there's some of them that you don't even get or that are entirely useless, and then some of them that are very useful and pretty good. So that's the second level. Now we're in Echo Base. This is a power up for the lightsaber. You can use force power to make your lightsaber stronger. That, as you can see, is an instant death. That's an intentional death. It's basically we have to backtrack to the beginning of the level, and it's faster to die than to really backtrack. This game is considered to be pretty hard because, as you maybe saw there, you only have 6 continues, and there's stuff like that that's instant death. So you could run out of continues pretty quickly. Gotta. Oh, our platform's right there. Usually I have to wait for that platform. Alright, I see chat is reading or is sending a lot of stuff, but it's hard to. Someone's asking about the TAS. I can't exactly just splice everything in because it would desync. So I'll kind of have to redo a bunch of stuff when I redo the task, but I've been doing some task stuff on stream and everything, so if you guys want to stop by sometime. That jump between the red blocks and here is actually really scary because if you fail it, you die. There's a pit below that's instant death. This fight's usually pretty easy, but if you get in the wrong spot and get kind of stuck, he can actually take your health down pretty fast. What is a task? Good question. A task is a tool-assisted speedrun. So if you had like superhuman reaction time and could go back and fix your mistake, a task is what you'd end up with. Watching someone make a task is probably like really boring, but watching the finished product, if you go to taskvideos.org, there's some pretty sweet videos of some of the games you loved and remembered, and the tool-assisted world has just, you know, destroyed them. That's pretty fun. Can actually one-cycle that guy, but I didn't really get a very good start. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Can actually, this next guy is really dangerous, but you can get him on screen and hit him without actually triggering the fight. So that makes that easy. Now we'll go to the swamp, go find Yoda. This I guess would be level 4. There are 10 levels. There actually, you'll see there are a couple different game mechanics. Spider up here. These guys are fairly dangerous, but we can jump past him. These spiders are really dangerous. They drop down if you try to run under them, so we kill that one. The other ones are a little higher, and we can use the force speed upgrade to run underneath them quickly enough. Let's see. Trying to think of what else there is. This jump right here is pretty dangerous because if you get knocked down right here, ooh, that was close. If you get knocked down right there, basically you end up down at the beginning of the level and you waste a good minute or so to try to get all the way around back to here. And there's Yoda. Now we gotta start this level quickly so we can catch this platform cycle. The first level we skipped a lot. There's some like ice water down in the first level, and a lot of people don't realize you can charge the jump and they end up in there and they die and then they give up. This like poisonous swamp water actually takes your health down a little faster than that does. The old route through level 1 did some sequence breaking by hopping through the water. This is really dangerous. That guy can knock you into the water and it doesn't take very long for you to die. Is this Battletoads? This is not Battletoads. Kinda looks like it with the hopping, but there are fewer dash jumps than there are in Battletoads. Now we can use our 4-speed to run past that guy. Another spider we can just jump past. Past those guys. Another spider. This is our force levitate, which is actually one of the most useful force powers, and actually it's the only one that's required to beat the game. Can't get to the end without it. There's some of the voice sample if you heard it sometimes when you go into that menu. There's a voice sample thing. You'll hear one at the end in the final boss area as well. There's that Vader fight. It's pretty easy. Speed past this guy. Fly to the end. Oh, that's weird, I usually am above that text box. So this is a different sort of level. This is a battle near Cloud City. I'm gonna hang out in this cloud and just turn back and forth because you're basically invulnerable during that turn animation. So we just turn back and forth. It's usually fairly safe. You can also just hold right and go right, and that's pretty safe too. At least safer than doing a lot of flying around. Come on, last guy. And then TIE fighters. This is actually one of the two places in the game that checkpoints. If you die against the TIE fighters, you only have to refight the TIE fighters. There's also a checkpoint in level 1, but even the old route skipped it, so that's not really useful. Cloud City. Now we can hop our way through Cloud City. This is actually a pretty big sequence break coming up here. Here's R2, he's supposed to take this electricity out for us, but actually R2 is really slow, so we're not going to wait for him. The boss fight up here that we're going to skip as long as we don't scroll the screen too far right. And what you're supposed to do is go to the right and go through a maze of stuff and then go fight this ATST and pick it up and then walk back through here because the ATST can walk through the electricity. It turns out what actually happens, the hitbox for that electricity is pretty small and your jump isn't fully interpolated, So as long as you go through it in the launch phase of your jump, you can just jump through, so that's nice. Blaster upgrade that we picked up earlier. Use it to take down Boba Fett pretty easily. There we go. Point getting a health refill because it'll refill on the next level. The Force will not though, so. Alright, here's Slave 1. I go down and clip that cloud and that gets me into a really good X position that screws with his AI. So basically he'll fly back and forth and he can't hit me here. If you try to fight this fight normally, you go up and down and turn around, you'll probably lose. Those shots do a lot of damage, and the green ball that he drops every once in a while takes like half your health, so it doesn't take long. Yeah, cannon. Red lightsaber, there's all sorts of canon issues here. I really like this game in terms of the physics, but yeah, I think a lot of people found it too hard. It's a fairly late NES release, and it wasn't the most popular. You know, these guys, the developers went on and did the Super Star Wars series, which is considered to be a lot more fun, a lot more popular, did a lot better. We're going to try those bounty hunter guys that flip around a lot are really dangerous, so we're gonna try to avoid them as much as possible, which I'm not doing a very good job of right there. There's your audio sampling again. The sound almost sounds messed up there, and that's because they're like mini bosses, and there's like a sound thing for mini bosses. There we skipped a boss by not going scrolling the screen too far right. Ah, I'm stuck. Okay. These guys you actually do have to fight. They're pretty dangerous. If you get on the left side of them, they can like flip you back into this electricity that's back there. Go. Again, you can still launch your way through the electricity. Another bounty hunter here, that's pretty easy. We just make good use of the power-ups for the blaster and the lightsaber. That helps. Doesn't make it easy necessarily. Alright, this is the last level and the one I'm most likely to fail at. The final boss, final Vader fight is, you know, getting better at, but it's not the most consistent. You can get kind of RNG'd. That's the first one. There are several copies, but you only really have to fight the first one and the last one. Like this guy, we're just gonna skip past him. Ah, get up there. Here, there are these pillars. There's a Vader down here that you can go fight, but we don't really need to, so we'll skip that. This is kind of a tough section, so we're just going to fly over most of it. This can be a little dangerous, that spike in the corner there, the like pink spike. The hitbox is very squarish, and if you clip that corner of it, it's instant death. Avoid that. Coming up on the end here. Actually farm just a little bit of health here for, you know, safety purposes. There is, in one other place and right up top here, there is an extra continue if you really had problems. We're coming up, we're going to skip this guy, and then we're on to the final Vader fight. And then the time is going to be on the fade out. You can, there's actually a double kill where you win and one where you lose, depending on how far away. There we go. And time. Alright, so that's the NES Empire Strikes Back. It's actually a pretty fun speed game, and I'm glad I got to show it off for everyone. There's some credits here, and at the end, Yoda shows up, and then it plays some Cantina Band, and that's it. So, yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Bad Breaks and everyone for putting this on, commentating, all that. So yeah, I can probably cut it because then we have plenty of other games, and I think we're still behind a little bit where people would like to be. So,
wow,
I think
Link,
that's it for me.
Coming in way ahead of estimate with a great run.
Yeah, I was a little less confident about, especially that last Vader fight when I gave the estimate, and the new strat on the first level saves a good like minute 20 as long as you get it right away. So. Yeah, I was pretty sure I was going to be way underestimate unless I failed a lot. So,
estimate you are under.
What was the actual time? 21:06. Well, that's a new world record then. Because my old PB was 21:20 from just a few days ago.
Congratulations, world record on the best in
yeah, basically that first level strat I've only been using this week, so a deathless run like that, or no unintentional deaths, I guess, because there is an intentional death in the run. But okay, that's it for me. Thanks, everyone.
All right, Link, thank you. That's a world frickin' record, guys.
Frickin' record.
Link sounds like he's going to blow through the roof. He's so excited.
Sub 20 is definitely possible. I'll definitely go for that. So.
Hey, follow this guy if you want to see more of Empire Strikes Back. I know personally that Link does Friday night retro races with us, where a group of us race a bunch of games on SRL every Friday night. So he plays a ton of NES games
stuff at some point. So
you do Taz's too? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I do some of the TAS stuff because I did this when I did the Barbie one. That Barbie race was great, real close race.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah. Bye, so watch Link for. Great runs, tons of retro stuff, Taz's, everything. So follow Link _7777. All right, I think I said the right amount of sevens there. All right. I must have a bunch of coins just fell out on my laptop, so I must have said the right number of sevens. All right, so coming up next,